I get so lonely that tears start to fall, I just sing it.
Hi there, I'm Corinne Sullivan. This is a really fast video to let you know why I am offering the Neighborhood Records archival collection here on my website. In 2019, I started a music company dedicated to the support of the human rights and the basic needs of songwriters, musicians, and performers. I was inspired in the main by Woodstock alumni Melanie, who has an amazing voice, outstanding vocal range, incredible performer, perhaps one of the best performers of, the modern age. And yet she was vilified and stolen from in a way that is really hard to express in just a few words. So in 2019, I started to put everything I had into helping Melanie tell her story correctly and hopefully take the needed legal action to protect her work. Very, very unfortunately, this year, January, Melanie passed away, and this was incredibly hard for me to endure because she was the other person who would pick up the phone and talk on my behalf whenever I was talking to a government official or compiling a binder of documents for a Secretary of State, or speaking to someone who's well known in independent music. So we were trying to change the entire flow of music, which is that copyrights are almost unheard of when it comes to streaming services. And the 2018 Music Modernization Act, which swept away literally thousands of lawsuits against streaming services for using without permission the music of artists. And what it really comes down to is that federal laws that protect the human rights and the basic needs of songwriters, musicians, and performers are more than, get this, 100 years overdue. The laws you see in place are pushed through by very, very financially equipped individuals, and they are completely removed from the basic necessities of a career in music. That's what we were hoping to change. So in 2019, Melanie was about to sell on eBay the historic audio reels from the 1970s, which she and her husband paid for inside their own company, Neighborhood Records, in New York City. And it's very expensive these days to clean and transfer tapes. These ones were moldy. They had also expired. They'd gone well past their time limit of use. So I had to send them to a very meticulous laboratory, Sony Craft A2DX in New Jersey. They took really great care of them. And I paid for a record store day release in 2020 of Melanie's concert at Drury Lane, which was the only existing copy of that recording. I also paid for the release of Melanie at the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City, which again was the only copy of that show. They would have been lost if Melanie and I had not teamed up together in 2019. So with the passing of Melanie, I have now released all of the recordings from those tapes. And it's been truly a labor of love. I've been criticized greatly from people in the business world for spending the amount of time and money I spent helping Melanie. I don't regret a single moment of it. I am still inspired by Melanie and her performances and what she has given all of us and given the culture of our great nation. So that's why these recordings are now available. If anyone else is dealing in these recordings, they have stolen them from my company. No one has reached out to me to make any sort of an offer. The reason I have these recordings is to fund this human rights work in the music industry. And the costs of obtaining the recordings themselves still needs to be funded, for which I have a lot of receipts, and it is an amazing body of work. I have been listening to it over and over again. Melanie's music is what kept me going. I love it so much, and I hope you will purchase the collection and enjoy it for yourself. It really is worth it. Thank you.
that changes the time from the pain of the world to the love in my